Well, I'm going to read you some of the quotes from Kirby Smart about the win over Ohio State. And the thing that these are behind the scenes quotes that the university released not that long ago. And I think these are really important. This is before the game, okay? And by the way, the folks that put together the stuff at Georgia, I know they're like they get stuff we don't get. I get all that and blah blah blah. They really do a good job with this, and I'm not just saying that. There are some schools that do a good job. Georgia does a really good job, and it's not Georgia; it's those people, and they're doing a really good job. Here's what Kirby had to say before the game. This is important. He said, "Now some of this I can't quite hear some of it." He said, they say to have composure is hard when you do it on an island. We have connection. Takes care of that problem. Pull out the composure card when you need it. It ain't gonna be perfect. I love this team. I love every one of you guys. You have given a ton to this program, a ton to each other. This game is about making it personal. Now, look, he's not saying I got a personal problem with Ryan Day. I'm not, I got an issue with CJ Stroud for not signing with us. That's not what he's saying. He's saying, and this is the best way to do it. You can be angry all you want, you know. No, you have to be, I mean, I don't know, Zen in a way comes to mind, but you have to be locked in. Just being pissed off. People always say that. That doesn't work, man. That works when you need to be pissed off, but that's not what I mean. When you're pissed off going into a game and you're down 15 or when you're down 18, you're still pissed off. You're going to be more pissed off. You got to do what you're supposed to do. You have to trust the person with you on your journey. And in this case, making it personal was about doing being in the zone, being composed, not doing stupid stuff because, oh, I'm angry. I mean, here's or oh, I'm out of control. Think about Jalen Carter picking up the LSU quarterback, okay, and not throwing him to the ground. If he was going crazy, he'd have thrown him to the ground. And Georgia would have gotten a 15-yard penalty. And very possibly Jalen Carter would have been thrown out of the first half against Ohio State. You have to have a level head when you're playing. You can't go in all pissed off and rage and all this stuff. You got to be under control. You have This is about control and discipline, and that's what he's talking about. Making it personal, doing it the right way for yourself and your teammates. Don't skip yourself. Do it for you too. Okay, but it's just that the other guys are more important than you. That's all. That's really what this is. Is that if you're doing this the right way, you're doing it for yourself. You are, but you're doing it for everybody else more. You're elevating the program. I mean, it is in Georgia's case, it is about the G. If Georgia wins the national championship Monday night, you need to go to Red Zone. I'm going to give you a link uh, at that point where you can get some stuff that is exclusive to their store. It's going to be there Tuesday morning. You don't have to be in Athens to get it. They'll mail it to you. But you want to start going to the site that night. You will see those all in our stories. There's also, I'm going to put a link to this particular video. There's a link to a really nice 3/4 zip that you're going to get 30% off if you go there right now. While you are down below, this is free. You can click and get our newsletter. We can't do this stuff without y'all. We can't. But the best way for us to deliver information to you is not by video, it's through our newsletter. We don't, you're going to miss stuff. There's no algorithm with our email. You just get our data. You can get off of it at any time. But it is personal. I've not talked about dog struction in a while. These are personal, you know, this shot here, okay? We've not had this moment at Georgia yet this season, and we might not have it. But Schaefer, I saw Schaefer Saturday night after that game, and I was so happy for him. Okay, And this is Justin Schaefer, and he was really had a hard time with that loss to Alabama. And they weren't screaming and yelling. There was no screaming. There was love right there. This is Kirby and Matt Luke loving Justin Schaefer. This isn't N'Kobe screaming and yelling, uncontrollable. There's no uncontrollable in this program. Not that I've seen. They practice it out of them. It's about control and discipline and understanding that you can't just fly off and do whatever you want to do. You have to do what you're supposed to do. You have to. If you don't, you're not going to achieve your goals. And I think what Kirby is talking about here, and there's some other great quotes in here. I'm going to read them to you right now. But this game is about making it personal. He's dead on right. Here's what Todd Hartley, who is the tight ends coach at Georgia, here's what he had to say to his guys. He said, "Can I tell you something? I love each of you guys, okay? I love y'all like family, like a son, and y'all know it. This is about this. That's what it's all about. Tonight is about love for your brother. It's about making it personal. It's about the connection and the composure we have in our program." I mean, that is love right there. I mean, that's not just everybody thinks coaching. I mean, everybody. People confuse coaching. They think it's about Kirby going nuts and all this stuff. I mean, Kirby was pissed at Stetson. He was, but he loves Stetson. And you know, Saturday night was about passion and control. And can you control your passion enough to win? Here's what Glenn Schumann has. Glenn Schumann was exhausted after this game. He said this was before the game. He said they have to deal with us until the new year. They have to deal with us until midnight. We say 60 minutes or however long it takes. I hope it takes longer than that because they're going to have to deal with us until 1, 2, as long as they are going to, as long as they're going to have, as long as it takes, they're going to have to deal with us. Hey, man, they dealt with y'all until about midnight, and that was it. They couldn't deal with it anymore. And I just, the thing that Kirby gets right more than anything else is an understanding of his players. It's not, I'm not going to go off on other coaches right now. It's not, I don't view it as being fake. I've seen Kirby enough when they've lost devastating games to Alabama, painful games, man. 17 national championship game, you know, the the SEC championship game lost to Alabama. I've seen him console his guys. I've got proof of it. It's right there. He didn't just go in the locker room and wait for him. He came back out and consoled his guys. It's more than just having the ability to. I mean, everybody has the ability to like scream and yell or whatever you want to call it. That's not really coaching. That's not teaching. That's screaming and yelling. I mean, sometimes there's a purpose for that. Anyone who's raised children understands that. But that's not all it is. And these guys get that. I mean, like they understand that they have a relationship with their players that is important. It matters. And it matters to the players and from the players back to the coaches. It's important to and all I mean all programs have that. Georgia's not unique like that. But what Georgia's trying to say here is we have worked so hard and the way we work and the way in which we work, we feel like prepares us in a way that other folks are not prepared. That's my interpretation of it. That's not necessarily, what they're saying, but that's my everybody works. You know, people who are in sanitation, they work. Their job is harder than my job is. Okay, I mean people work, but uh, Their job is physically more demanding than my job. So we all have different obstacles. Those kids at Ohio State work too, for sure. They have dreams. Um, but there is right now something that's a little bit different with Georgia than the other programs in college football. And it's not just the talent. If it were just a talent, then it would be Ohio State, Georgia, and Alabama. And that's a lot of it. That's a lot of it, man. Like that's 98, 99% of it. But if you want to win that game just after midnight, there's a little bit something else that you got to do. And Kirby says it's about being personal.